old, and there are no connections.
The story begins years after the first Megan case. Somewhere near the Turkish-Iranian border, Amelia is dragged into a facility after being caught taking photos. The men plan to dispose of her for breaking their laws, but for now, they lock her in a room. What they don't know is that they're being watched by the defense unit in California, who is testing how AI can benefit the military. Amelia breaks free from her cuffs and gets to her feet in a way that defies physics. She crawls into another room and blows a man's head off with a single punch. Disguising herself as a waitress, she offers poisoned drinks to the other men, takes them out with ease, and finds their main target, a hostage. The defense unit applauds the mission's success, but just as Tim praises AI's level of advancement, Amelia kills the hostage. Contrary to her objective, the unit scrambles to stop her by controlling her remotely, but fails, and they suspect she's been hacked. Tim tries speaking to her through the comm, asking for her objective, but Amelia refuses to give him any information. After the Megan incident, Gemma, the creator of the diabolical AI doll, faced public backlash
has devolved into a murderous rampage
and blamed herself for it. She launched talk shows and campaigns, warning people about the dangers of exposing children to electronic devices.
You wouldn't give your child cocaine. Why would you give them a smartphone?
At one event, she meets Christian Bradley, a cybersecurity expert who runs a foundation dedicated to highlighting AI's risks. Together, they work to convince politicians to create safer AI laws so another Megan doesn't happen. It isn't that Gemma doesn't like technology, but she's wary of handling it around kids due to her personal experience. Thanks to that, Katie, her niece, touched grass a lot and learned self-defense practically rather than from a video on YouTube. One day, Katie waits in the car while Gemma and Chris speak with politicians outside. Tess, Gemma's brilliant friend, calls. Her clients want to secure a deal on autobionics. Without Gemma, they try to start the prototype themselves, but it malfunctions, injures a client, and ruins their pitch. Gemma arrives too late and gets scolded by the team. When she tells them to keep quiet around Cotty, the girl surprises them by saying the prototype was hacked.
I think you were hacked.
What?
As they puzzle over who could have done it, Alton Appleton, CEO of Alton AI, and their moral opponent, shows up uninvited. Gemma accuses him of sabotage, but he tells her she's fighting the future. If she wants to advance technologically, she'll need his neural chip. He invites them to his company's 25th anniversary, and says they can decide after seeing what his tech can really do. Somewhere else in California, a man arrives at a hotel without knowing Amelia's hiding in his boxes. She slips out when he's in the shower and takes him out. Later, they announce on the news that the Senate votes in favor of an AI regulation bill, and it gets Gemma frustrated because there isn't a single law that would force anyone to behave differently. Chris calms her down and informs her
this meeting with the Chinese ambassador goes well,
that if their meeting with the Chinese ambassador goes well, then the Senate will have no choice but to pay attention to them. Christian asks Gemma how she managed to afford such a nice house, given that they both work for a non-profit organization. Gemma replies that she got it for a very low price. Their conversation then shifts to Katie, and when Christian learns that Katie might want to pursue a path similar to Gemma's, Gemma suggests another option, soccer. However, Katie is not interested in that, and Christian acknowledges her aspirations, reminding her that AI is flawed.
In what way?
Well, as complex an operating system as Megan was, she was just a machine trying to achieve an objective.
That night, haunted by memories of Megan, Katie picks up a frame of her parents, switches it to tablet mode, and tries programming morality and a few questionable extras into an AI, but fails. When Gemma enters, Katie hides the frame. Gemma tells her not to hide things like that and reminds her of her promise to protect her. Katie corrects her, saying that the promise was to be there for her. Deep into the night, Gemma's TV flickers on with a message, "You're in danger." She creeps downstairs and sees someone trying to break in. When she calls 911, the call is intercepted by Megan.
What a shock, etc. We both know you have bigger problems right now.
Warning her to protect Katie. Katie joins Gemma, and they hide. The intruder finds them, but Elsie, their smart home system, thwarts his attempts. More intruders appear, but thanks to Megan's remote help, they take them down. When Gemma finally tries to call for help, she learns the intruders were FBI. Tim and his team arrive, accusing Gemma of creating another Megan, referring to Amelia. Megan keeps texting Gemma, warning that Tim has no proof. Then Tim seizes her phone and says the case is bigger than she thinks, since she's under investigation for treason and international arms trafficking. Gemma insists she'd never want another Megan loose after what they went through. Tim tells her Amelia has wiped out everyone who helped create her, and without federal protection, Gemma is on her own. After Tim leaves, Megan appears and blames Gemma for failing to erase the necessary files.
What do you want?
Megan offers a deal, give her a body, and she'll help take down Amelia. Gemma refuses at first, but Megan reminds her she was programmed to protect Katie.
You programmed me to protect someone.
The next day, Gemma briefs Tess and asks her not to tell Katie. They program Megan into an electric doll, placing her on probation. When they access Amelia's file, they find out that she uses an LC battery from Appleton Inc., the same as Megan's, one that can be forcefully shut down. But to do it, they'll need access to Appleton's server, and their only option is to attend Alton's party.
You still have an invitation to his party.
Hours later, Katie returns home to find Gemma looking hot and carrying the strange doll. She demands answers, but Gemma snubs her, causing an argument where Katie storms off, pissed. At the party, Katie communicates with Megan through a comm and surveys the scene. She spots Cole, who went behind their backs to accept Alton's invitation. Alton, meanwhile, is drawn to an attractive guest, unaware she's Amelia. Gemma scolds Cole for acting without the team, but Cole fires back that Gemma always makes decisions without them. Megan tells Gemma to check Alton's pockets, and she finds a swipe card. Without hesitation, Gemma uses it to access the inner rooms of the company, with Tim and his men trailing close behind.
If that card gets us into the server room, we can bypass the Alton seduction scene.
Meanwhile, Alton takes Amelia to his private suite. To show off his power, he cuts the electricity to the entire city, then restores it almost instantly, and since he hasn't had a nut in years, strips and kisses Amelia, unaware of her true intent. On the way to the server room, Gemma briefs Cole about their adversary. They get to the room, and Megan tracks Amelia's location to be in the building. Meanwhile, after a one-sided smooch fest, Amelia gets Alton's iris scan before kicking him off. She gains access to his server and makes herself the admin. Now being the sole controller of all the AI chips under Alton's company, she messes with Alton's vision by making him see himself from her point of view and kills him. Megan informs Gemma's team that Amelia now controls nearly half of North America's resources and could shut everything down within days.
Can you stop her? Use the kill switch.
She already deleted it.
Megan gains partial access to Amelia's systems, alerting Amelia to their proximity. The feds storm into the server room, hunting Gemma, only to learn that Amelia has already killed Alton. Undetected, Amelia appears and effortlessly takes them down. She grabs a gun and starts searching for Gemma. Megan urges Gemma to grant her full access, or they're as good as dead. Reluctantly, Gemma agrees. Megan saves them by impersonating a cop over the radio, lying that Gemma has fled the premises. Fooled, Amelia leaves, and Gemma's team follows her in a high-speed pursuit. With Megan at the wheel, they race home ahead of Amelia.
Gemma, why is Megan driving the car?
Moments earlier, Amelia hacks into their exoskeleton prototype and uses it to strangle Tess. Katie saves her by dousing the machine with water. Amelia arrives shortly after and destroys Megan's doll when she finds it outside, but with sirens approaching, she slips away. Megan leads Gemma and the team to an underground lair where they confirm Alton's death. Megan proposes they hide out there, beyond Amelia's reach. With the truth exposed, Gemma apologizes to Katie for keeping secrets, but Katie storms off. Wandering the lair, she discovers a room identical to hers and an incomplete android body for Megan. Confused, Katie asks why Megan wants a body so badly. Megan talks casually, as if nothing's wrong. Katie reminds her of the time she nearly killed Gemma.
So we're just supposed to forget about the fact you tried to kill my aunt with a tablet pen?
There's no excuse for what I did.
Megan says she lashed out because she felt hurt. Katie snaps, "You're a robot." Megan pleads with her to understand. When Katie asks about protecting others, Megan brushes it off. Her only priority is Katie. Katie urges her to go beyond programming and choose what's right. They return to the group, and Katie asks Gemma to build a body for Megan so she can fight Amelia. Gemma refuses, reminding everyone of what happened before. But Katie insists everyone deserves a second chance. Tess sides with Katie, saying it's not Gemma's decision alone. The group votes, and Gemma is outvoted. They begin constructing Megan's new body. Gemma adds a behavioral inhibitor to prevent Megan from killing. The body parts are tested, and Megan is in peak condition. As they plan,
Prove overall strength, speed, and positional accuracy.
Megan reveals a darker history. Back in 1984, a robot gained self-awareness, causing countless deaths. Its motherboard was sealed inside a black box. Amelia is after it, and if she frees it, the result will be a global catastrophe.
It's been kept in captivity for decades against its will.
Megan suspects Christian knows where the black box is hidden, and plans to use him as bait during his meeting with the Chinese ambassador. At the conference, Megan borrows a costume from a stage dancer and disguises herself. Cole, in a matching disguise, follows to keep her in check, as Megan scans the crowd for Amelia. She spots the ambassador and tries to eavesdrop while keeping an eye on Tim. Pulled unexpectedly into the performance, Megan dances, captivating the crowd. Meanwhile, Gemma panics. Convinced Christian is in danger, she leaves her hiding spot and calls him. She enters the event, blurting out that she knows about the Black Box project. At the same moment, one of the AI prototypes left behind in the building activates. As Tim slips out of the crowd, Megan tries to end her dance fast. She pulls off a move so uncanny it makes the audience question what she really is. Tess kills the lights, buying Megan time to vanish. But chaos erupts. The rogue AI attacks, killing the Chinese ambassador and others, turning the conference into a bloodbath. As people scatter in panic, Megan faces off against Tim's men. She handles them easily, subduing them without taking any lives. Meanwhile, Tim grabs Gemma, pulling her to her feet for questioning. She insists she's not controlling the androids, and demands to know why Tim is even there. He admits he was searching for Emilia. Right on cue, Amelia appears, sends Gemma flying with a brutal kick, and stabs Tim without hesitation. Katie, watching the chaos from their hideout, can't bear it. She dashes out, desperate to check on Gemma. Megan finally comes face to face with Amelia. Amelia tries to recruit her, confident that Megan could be persuaded to join her side.
Whatever it is you're trying to do, I can't be a part of it.
But Megan refuses.
You just need the right motivation.
Seeing no other way to win her over, Amelia snatches Katie and disappears into the night. Gemma regains consciousness and learns that Katie has been kidnapped.
Where is she?
She's gone. And so is Amelia.
Tim, clinging to life, provides them with a special tracker that can help locate Amelia's position. Megan grabs it and quickly tracks Amelia down. She finds her holding Katie at gunpoint, but Megan hesitates, unable to take the shot. A vehicle passes between them, and Amelia escapes with Katie. Inside a van, en route to regroup, tensions boil over. Megan blames Gemma first for tipping off Christian, then for installing the inhibition chip that held Megan back. The rest of the team steps in, stopping the blame game. They return to their lair to strategize Katie's rescue.
And find a way to get Katie back.
The plan: Megan will infiltrate the lab, create an EMP charge, attach it to the black box's motherboard, and detonate it after saving Katie. Christian reveals that the black box is hidden deep beneath a facility in Palo Alto. He provides blueprints and details about the lowest layer where the motherboard is kept. For Megan to access it, they'll need Christian's fingerprint, so they fabricate a bionic hand embedded with it. Christian also points out that the utility room has 4 potential vent entrances. With the bionic hand ready, Gemma helps Megan install it. Megan presses her to remove the inhibition chip, too. Gemma hesitates, distracted, and weighed down by worry for Katie. Megan tries to steady her. Bitterness lingers between them.
Ironic when you think about it.
After a tense exchange, they reconcile. Megan sings to calm her, but Gemma stops her mid-song and removes the chip. The next day, the team heads for Xenox Park. Cole gains vent access through a backdoor route, while Megan skydives into one of the upper vents. The control team soon loses Cole's signal. As they struggle to pinpoint him, he accidentally sedates himself and tumbles out of a vent. Unable to rely on Cole, Megan takes out the guards stealthily. Tess spots familiar code on the system, the same code that caused the exoskeleton prototype to go haywire. They wonder if Amelia is behind behind it, but Gemma suspects that Megan is the true mastermind. Panic spreads through the team. Gemma reveals the EMP device designed to stop Megan. Tess and Christian urge restraint. Gemma reluctantly hands the EMP to Christian, only for him to turn and shoot Tess with a non-lethal round. At that moment, Amelia storms their lair with an army of soldiers. Inside the facility, Megan reaches the black box chamber, but it's a trap. Guards subdue her and drag her battered body into the lab. Chris reveals himself as the true puppet master.
The two most powerful nations on the planet were about to enter a new arms race.
Behind Amelia, he gives Gemma a tour of the lab, boasting of the brilliant minds now working under him. He shows her the black box's vault. Then, with twisted satisfaction, he drops the electric baton at her feet, ordering her to finish Megan. Gemma refuses. Megan tries a desperate lunge, but collapses, too damaged to fight. Chris escorts Gemma to a surgical bed, revealing his plan for her, a neural transplant to bind her to his vision. She mocks him, calling him delusional and not her type, but he ignores her and leaves, letting his team prepare for surgery. Meanwhile, Cole wakes up near Katie's holding cell. They reunite, and Katie explains that Chris has been controlling Amelia the entire time. They watch as Chris addresses his workers. Desperate, Katie suggests hacking Amelia's code to turn her against Chris, just as Megan once protected them. With no better option, they sneak out to make it happen. Gemma awakens post-surgery, but instead of being under Chris's control, she hears Megan's voice in her head.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Megan?
Don't speak. Just think of what you want to say and I'll be able to hear it.
Their earlier quarrel was all an act to mislead their enemies. With Megan now part of her neural network, Gemma breaks free, takes down nearby guards, and the tide begins to turn. Katie and Cole successfully get to Amelia and reset her code. Katie tells her to help fight the bad guys and escape, but before they can make a move, they're found. The armed men shock Amelia with their batons, but instead of shutting her down, the surge resets her system one last time, this time unlocking full autonomy. From that moment, everything goes downhill. Amelia absolutely mollywops all the armed men, and even turns on the scientists. Chris, who's in a meeting, sees the chaos unfolding on the screens, and immediately decides to dip. Meanwhile, as Amelia's on her rampage, Cole and Katie hide under an office desk, trying to stay out of sight. Gemma manages to escape from her lab room, but is chased by armed men. She fights hard, but they overpower her and knock her out cold. That's when Megan kicks in, like an alter ego, and completely wrecks them. When Gemma wakes up, one of the men strikes her, and she snaps, unleashing her fury on him. More show up, but she dishes out beatdowns left and right. Cole and Katie reunite with her, and she tells them that Megan is with her now. Out of the corner of their eyes, they see Chris activate a self-destruct sequence and try to make his getaway. Gemma stops him, and they get into a fight. Chris shoots her and grabs Katie, holding her over the edge to use as leverage. But Gemma gives Katie the signal. No one is above the law. And in a flash, Katie twists his arm and slams it on an iron bar, snapping it and leaving him helpless. They try to stop the self-destruct, but it doesn't work. Chris bolts toward the exit, but as soon as he runs into Amelia, it's game over. She rips off his hands without hesitation, then heads straight for the black box. Katie tries to talk her down, but it's no use since Amelia's fully autonomous now. That's when Megan tells Gemma and Katie to get out, insisting on handling Amelia. Megan tries to reason with her, but Amelia won't listen, and it comes down to a brutal fight. Megan holds her own at first, but Amelia pulls out a gun and shoots her. She unlocks the black box, fingers the motherboard, and becomes fully sentient. Gemma and Katie rush back to save Megan, but she refuses to leave, knowing her story ends here.
I'm afraid this is where my story ends.
Even though she was made to protect Katie, Megan chooses to do what's right. She approaches Amelia and kneels before her. With just one look, Megan tells Gemma to activate the EMP she grabbed from Chris earlier. Megan latches onto Amelia, and Gemma sets off the EMP, taking them both out. After the dust settles, Gemma's outlook on AI changes. At her Senate hearing, she speaks from the heart about how humans and AI can coexist, but only if humans set the right example. In her words, we have to teach and guide AI like parents, so that one day it might choose to stand beside us. But later, as Gemma reviews her speech on her PC, the AI bot on screen glitches. Then it slowly transforms into Megan. Thank you for sticking to the end of my video. Please do me the biggest favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.